The London Royal Ravens have Shawnee, and that's it for now. And then you go to Seattle, and you see Octane all by himself, just sitting there waiting for a team to build around him. He led a lot of categories in your very public statistics, EasyMac, this season. And a lot of people are making the joke that the team looks the same at the moment. But whether you believe that or not, what do you think? I mean, Octane, obviously, one of the best out there, waiting to see who will shake down here. But you gotta hope, right? I know that you work for another team, EasyMac, but like, fans gotta hope that he gets substantial support next season, right?
You you don't want to ever see a player like you don't want to wish them bad because I mean I hope Octane has a good team and like it kind of scared me when I saw like a tweet I think it was last week where he was like, oh no, it's happening again. I was just like, oh good lord. Because like what kind of sucks is you have all these teams that already have so much talent locked down. Like obviously our four players are locked down and that's like four of the top 10 players in the entire game. And then you go to Dallas and all of them are locked down. That's another like four of the best players in the game. And then Chicago all locked down. And then you go to like OGLA and like Slasher and Kenny are already locked down. So it's like your options get so limited right off the bat and it's so hard to pick up like talent that complements him because a lot of it's already locked down. So, hopefully, I saw a tweet like I think it was yesterday that good news. It was like the best day of roster mania ever for him. So that's awesome to hear. So hopefully they do have a really good team around him that can perform better than what happened this year.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I hope he has. I think the best thing that we can hope for is that he has a voice, right? Because it sounded like, and again, this is like not a slight against any of the players or Octane. Like it's a slight against none of these players. But from what it sounded like, the way that Seattle constructed this roster was literally, these players are all good. We will put them on the same team. They will magically be good together, and it'll be great, right? And that did not happen. Obviously, even before Karma retired, even before Enable was benched, like that just didn't happen, right? And that doesn't always happen when you put together rosters on paper and you get them together and you're like, wait a minute, this is not going to work, and who's playing what and what is this person's role, and we have a bunch of really loud voices that are clashing. And obviously, again, this is not insight onto what happened on Seattle, but Seattle is kind of the perfect example of how sometimes rosters that look really good on paper do not end up working out in execution. So my hope is that if you keep a player like Octane and you're like, this is our guy, right? You then give that guy as much say as possible in who he wants to play with. So that is my main hope. And hopefully the tweet from yesterday pans out and he does have a really strong say and he does get to play with players that he's either already comfortable with or he knows that, yeah, we are going to work well together and these are going to be our roles and this is how we think we're going to play. Because that's actually just like so important.
I just hope like more teams give themselves more cap space to work with because what hurt Seattle like so much last year is like obviously fans don't know this and like it's really hard to tell, but like Seattle had no cap space and there's a competitive tax. So if you go over the salary cap, like it gets real expensive. And they were put into a really tough spot because not a lot of teams had like really strong substitutes and then like there was teams that had like no cap space. So I hope that's what's tough about Call of Duty too, is like you build the rosters before the game even comes out. So like who knows how it's gonna break down next year. And I just hope, Seattle also like gets a really good roster, but also, you know, doesn't find themselves in the same spot last year where like one player that was like a sure shot. Like, I thought Ian and Damon were gonna be really good on that roster and it didn't work out. I just hope they have somebody as that fifth player that's, ready to step in. I hope all the teams have that too.